One of my highlights this week on Fifth Avenue, watching Ben Bernanke walk out of a hotel. Olivia, Ben Bernanke looked tanned and rested. He looked really rested.
I'm surprised because he's a busy man. He's got a new gig at Janus, he's got a new gig at Citadel, and he's also been blogging for Brookings. And he's getting a little bit sassy. He came out swinging against the Wall Street Journal editorial page, writing, quote, that the Wall Street Journal editorialists failed to note that while the FOMC may have been too optimistic about growth, they have also been consistently too pessimistic about unemployment, which has fallen more quickly than anticipated. So he was responding to the fact that the Wall Street Journal is constantly calling for tighter monetary policy, and he's batting back and saying, look, the Wall Street Journal is constantly forecasting breakout inflation, and that hasn't turned up yet.
This is incredibly important. I've yet to read his wonderful blog on John Taylor of Stanford. If David Wessel arranged this at Brookings, this is a huge deal. Ben Bernanke's doing a public service with this blog. It's detailed. It's really nerdy. It's really, really cool versus, blathering away.
It is
really cool.
What do you make of this, though?
I think it's valid criticism, and I think it's great that he pushes back. And Bill Cohen, you know this so well. It's so easy to criticize and game it. It's another thing to do it, to be in public policy in those very bright lights. And he's allowed to defend himself.
Well, and part of the reason he's probably looking tan and rested is because he's probably feeling prosperous for the first time in whatever his whole career, because he went from academia
to making some money.
He's making some money. He's definitely having impact. People are in the know, are reading his blog and commenting on it on Twitter. I don't know about if they're doing it on LinkedIn, but good for him.
It must be refreshing for the man. He had to be so apolitical as Fed chair. He had to be so guarded and careful in his wording. Now he's coming out swinging against the left, taking out Larry Summers on secular stagnation, swinging against the right, taking out the Wall Street Journal editorial page.
But the other thing here, Bill, that's so important is these guys are allowed to make a living. I mean, they do public service at lower wages. People say it's a crime they make $200,000 a speech, whoever it is. I'm like, baloney, they got to make some money for their families.
So that they can afford to go to the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
That would be true.
Well, there's been so much criticism of the revolving door of people swinging from Wall Street to government and then back again. I mean, he didn't do it. He served his time, both as in academia and then in government service. He should exactly be allowed to make a living. I mean, at this point,
there it is. Olivia, I'm so glad you brought up the blog. I got to read the Taylor piece. It really is. It actually has some math in it. Professor Bernanke on the dynamics of the Taylor function.